Really want to push for a full debuff build here. Which, one of the funny things, I think Short Fuse is the only one there that actually builds towards a debuff build. One of the funny things about debuff relics is a lot of the good debuff relics are actually just like Pierce relics, allowing you to hit more enemies so that the debuff relics that you actually do have, all of your apply debuff on hit passives, of which there are generally more than a few that you have access to, especially around Eloquence, just so that they can get more value, because generally that does matter a lot. You know, like Pincer Maneuver, for example, is a classic one, but even stuff like Augur, Prime Road of Frost, all matters. Speaking of mattering, interesting map. A lot of elites, and if you're going to build a debuff build, then I would 100% recommend a lot of elites. A lot of the relics that you're going to be looking for are indeed rare relics. I will just hit bombs naturally, there's no need to aim inside here. Short Fuse basically just guarantees it. It would be nigh impossible to miss. So, just need to collect up as much gold as possible because this store is pretty fast. Bit of a shame how many, yep, as expected. Bit of a shame how many elites share the same node. Really limits exactly how much I can actually get, but nevertheless, I did actually get more than a few elites, so I am looking forward to that. Realistically, Bob is just the correct pick, but I shan't pick it up yet. If I do get your bombs applied debuffs though, I will be very sad for turning it down. Especially if I can also hit the safety pegulations, right? Strange Brew, I'm gonna be honest, I was really hoping for a Hive Turtle there, that would have been amazing. Stole a chunk of gold there, I really did need it. Okay. Let's try and get you out of here ASAP, please. Can't have this guy sticking around after all. Like, if we can get a crit here, we will actually be in a decent spot. If we can't get a crit, then we just need to hit the bomb, which would be easy enough. Perfect. We get a Bramble. That's my favorite debuff to get against plants. How did you know? I love getting Bramble against plants. It's my favorite. I would definitely prefer it over every other debuff. Even Transparency is just fun, you know? Being able to just pierce an enemy, apply debuffs onto the next enemy. I do just love a good bit of Transparency. Is it more impactful than, like, say, Exploitable? Generally not. It's still a good bit of fun. Oh, Augur Pumpkin Pie. I do like both of these. But, yes, Augur is one of the passives I mentioned for increasing my pierce. Okay. Removal there is nice and all. I really did want an extra bit of gold just to make this a bit cleaner, but honestly, this works. There isn't really anything good in the store, which is as expected, let's be honest. So we just get to buy Illusion, Navigation, Inflation, and maybe not a remove. No need to buy the remove. I did get a random remove after all, and that kind of just removes the necessity of it, doesn't it? Yeah, so we did miss the elite there, but that's just because going this way and then into this one, because I think double elite's better than a chest, is just as fine. Just as fine. It's just less question marks, which maybe the question mark could have been an extra elite. But getting an anvil here is really nice. Definitely going to appreciate that. I'm also going to appreciate that. Would have gotten more off of inflation there, but a bit worried, eh? Alright, let's land our debuffs, shall we? Augur, so we have Pierce. Not that that matters too much. I do have Short Fuse, which does make this fight trickier. Hitting my bombs is not exactly what I'm after all. I want to delay my bombs so that I can hit them at the prime time. And generally, Short Fuse, when I'm hitting them, is probably not going to be the most ideal. I could try and play for Rainbow Slime Spawn, but I don't think I shall. I was hoping to get the kill there though, because that would have cleaned everything up. Luckily though, everything has been cleaned up. Right, so picking up an orb here would be good. I would just need an orb that's actually good to pick up. Might be expecting a little bit too much. It's not that, you know, Visibate and Ball Lightning aren't actually decent, because they are decent. It's just that currently, they're not actually really applying or helping with my debuff game plan, so I do not find them necessary. If we could get an elite here, that would be insane. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Let's get our targeting correct, and honestly, I will actually shoot this. I have a Augur after all, so a good crit hit is... Augur is a very good relic. It's a very good relic. Can you bounce into the roll? That works. I did not expect this fight to be this simple, but this fight has just been this simple. Like, I actually just need to do this shot, purely because my navigation wasn't actually open yet. And we just closed out that fight that fast. Like, that was a pretty good elite fight for us. Augur is decent after all. Critical Equilibrium, grinding on Stira. I will take Critical Equilibrium. The early grinding on Stira is amazing, as always, but I actually do just want the extra crit on the board. Pretty cool. Definitely not too crazy, but pretty cool. Then we go to the elite. Alright, we have had a pretty stacked area one so far. I also love how much gold we've got to work with as well. That is definitely neat. Speaking of neat, my inability to hit a crit here is not neat. So I will do something fancy like this, which does not hit a crit. Let me tell you, I was very prepared to say does hit a crit there, but alas. Doing good damage. 265 health. I guess we will just be doing this then. Oh, oh no, yeah, I hit the crit. But missed the refresh, which is definitely something I was after, but whatever. Alright, navigation inflation is going to be doing what exactly? I guess I should have seen that coming. Ooh, I was hoping you could hit more bombs there, but whatever. I'm more than fine to lose a tiny bit of health here. That's all it is. Go for the icicle. It is pretty cool. I have... well, just fine to take it. Lucky penny for some extra crits, sure. I'm very fine to turn down a parallel Boomyverse as well. But improving critting capabilities is always just a good idea on this class. Also happy to take the critical equilibrium, even though it is only one extra crit, which really is not that much. Alright, let's just, wow, look at the extra navigation inflation value there. Plus 80 gold. I more than paid for the Go for the Icicle I just picked up, eh? And I'm not expecting a ton of work from Go for the Icicle, but I think it should just be decent to have in the deck. Generally, I consider the boss being at 182 health after the first shot to be, like, I mean, it's fine, right? Pretty decent, and we landed a Bramble, so I get to just get the kill here if I actually had a good map. Unfortunately, there are no pegs on this map, so not too much I can do about that. But what I can do is this. That's pretty good. Go for the Icicle, working wonders. Go for Gold is very cool here, but I'm actually going to take the safety pegulations. Extra Pierce, as I mentioned, is very good. And whilst we do have the Go for the Icicle, which definitely negates the necessity a lot, maybe it'll still be nice. After all, I only have 5 crits on the board. You know, sometimes I won't be hitting a crit, and I won't get my Pierce on the Go for the Icicle. And when that happens, with safety pegulations, it's going to be doing so much then, right? Right. And there definitely won't be just like one enemy in the fight or something. Because that's definitely going to be... oh my! Store when I've been greeting with navigation inflation the entire time? Boil me. Absolutely lovely. Common relics, there aren't as many that I'm looking for, but nevertheless, I do expect to be able to get pretty decent value from that store. 103 max HP? Why is it 103? Oh, Frog Amulet. I forgot about Frog Amulet entirely. Unfortunate. I would have loved to get some more gold there, because 292 gold for 2 stores is not actually all that much. Decent, don't get me wrong. Not actually all that much. I'll always hit a crit, right? Even if I don't actually... I kind of do still need a crit though. Just for the crit damage. Which is, you know, what you're usually meant to use the crits for, but I'm playing this class. Yeah. This class, the rules change when it comes to crits. Quite a bit. Blammo. Realistically, if I see good orbs, I would be happy to pick them up too. It's just finding orbs that I actually do want for this run might be a bit on the tougher side. I want that, I guess I want this as well. And then anything more is probably a bit excessive. And I'll definitely get one more removal this run, so no need to do this removal. At the minimum, I could do the removal here, and then I'll have only the Go for the Icicle in my deck, which does sound pretty good. No need to rely on the Tactical Treat high roll, right? Might actually just be decent as well. Tactical Treat is actually kind of nice to have on Demon Wall. Purely because there are some really bad refresh spots on Demon Wall. And having a refresh being able to move can be nice. It can also just move to another really bad spot. But the question is just, do I think Shuffle Pot? I think I can afford to pick it up. I've fought a lot of elites already, so the rare relic pool is decreasing. Not by a ton, but it is decreasing. Oh, instant exploitable. Do not mind if I do. How exactly does one ramp up their Belusion? Do need to make sure I'm getting the dodge after all. The answer is not easily, basically just evasive maneuver, because this is a pretty normal fight. I really do appreciate getting all of this exploitable though. It's definitely the most impactful debuff to get. Especially since, you know, Blind and Bramble can't apply. But yeah, it does kind of feel like I am going to be relying on my Delusion a bit this fight. It'd be nice if I could actually hit a crit with that shortly. 9 exploitable, basically double damage. Okay, I do like double damage. Double damage is pretty cool. I also like being able to stack my Spiness up. Definitely one of the more scary elite fights, that's for sure. Not the most ideal. Grab that dodge. Pretty crucial to get the dodge there as well. If I didn't get the dodge, that would have been very unfortunate. Does mean we can just deal a lot of damage now though. That's very nice to see. But not getting any more exploitable does hurt quite a bit. Quite a lot after all. Could be able to pull off that shot for an easy enough victory. 161 gold. Refreshing Punch Wall Chicken. I mean, I've just got to take the Refreshing Punch. Imagine if I actually hit Elite Threats later, right? Just simply got to take it. Plus 12 gold, not bad. Okay, well we just need to shoot our go for the Icicle, right? Simple as that. I think there is a chance I can get 200 odd damage here. Since my incredible Pierce activates. That chance is definitely pretty low. Try that shot. Hopefully that polishes you guys off. Oh, apparently not. Wow. Pretty ridiculous, eh? We just lose so much more health because of that. Nevertheless, get out. There we go. 200 gold on the dot. Let's increase that amount a bit. Don't care too much about my health after all. Pretty sure we should be able to pick up a way to heal it all back up here. Mask of Joy. Happy to see that. That's very cool. Honestly, all 5 of these relics actually look kind of awesome, don't they? Unicorn Horn Super Boots. The Mask of Joy. They all look pretty awesome here. I mean, look, I really need the rare relics, so Orbit Story is just a must. Yes, I can turn down Unicorn Horn. No, I have Navigation Inflation. I will just be turning down the Apple a Day, which does feel a bit crazy, doesn't it? A bit on the crazy side, but we should be able to regen our health with Unicorn Horn Super Boots quite well. Sorry, not regen our health, get a whole bunch of gold, and I do want a whole bunch of gold quite badly. Makes a pretty big difference being able to access tons and tons of stores, and that's what I want to set up. So as long as we can get a cool shot off here, which shouldn't be too hard, then kablamo. Now, I do not have Round Guard. I don't have Round Guard or Decoil, that's actually very impressive. Usually you would expect to have one or the other at this stage, into 3 stores after all. Apparently that is not the case. Now if I misnavigate, that is not really fine. But I do need my Super Boots healing, so let's try and claim as much of it as possible. Perfect. Literally got more health than Ample Day would have granted us, and we got a dupe pot. Well, well, well. Very cool to see. Very cool to see all that gold there as well. And a Shuffle Orb. We'll get some max HP fighting into my deck as well. As well as losing some health, but I'm sure that'll be a fine trade. Right, my refresh move every shot as well. And I have Olga for this build as well, which is really awesome. Gonna be able to get 120 damage easy. Simply works, eh? Perfect. And we have Refreshing Punch too. Nice, we're just obliterating them, aren't we? They don't stand a chance. So, Shuffle debuff stuff does work, you know. Definitely works, especially if we can get your crits also applied debuffs. Or something of that ilk. That would be nice. So much damage as well. I will take that upgrade. An elite fight, I'm pretty sure all of the elite fights are fine enough now. Now that we have Shuffle Pod after all. Makes a big difference, I probably could have greeted there a bit as well. And the best part is, I do not need any of my health to deal with the boss. which is admittedly extremely nice. We also have Strange Brew, I forgot about that. Yeah, having Strange Brew for this build is really good. Really, really helpful. Hit me with your best shot. So like a peg bag would be insane as well, wouldn't it? No more Shuffle Orbs. Philosopher's Stone, wow. I do appreciate Infinity Greed after all. Speaking of Infinity Greed, I can just do this. I mean, Loki, you really gonna tell me that not just collecting plus 100 gold there is... Like, surely I've just always got to collect plus 100 gold there. Just simply the correct call. Very unfortunate that we have to shoot one of our evasive removal or our pebble. I'm very much looking forward to getting it out of it, getting rid of it from my deck. Wow. And we have 300 gold to do so, which should make it pretty simple, shouldn't it? I definitely want more refreshes in my deck though, because I have some really, really insane refreshing stuff. I just unfortunately do not actually have the capabilities to proc tons and tons of refreshes in the same shot. I can proc lots of refreshes in the same shot, don't get me wrong. But I don't want lots of refreshes, no. I aim for higher, and I'm afraid that aiming for higher means... Hold on. A dramatic pause is necessary. As reorganizer means Leaf Restorator. Oh, I saw the green and I got hopeful. I got very hopeful, honestly. Heavy Hand, Seal Conviction, Tender Cactus. Don't really care about any of these, but we will be taking... Actually, I have a very big problem with Heavy Hand. Very serious issue. And honestly, it's a big enough issue that I might just not take Heavy Hand because of it. I'm afraid that Heavy Hand, it messes with my greed shots. No, I'm not sure I can take that. I can't have things messing with my greed shots. I need my plus 100 gold for, the only real reason I have plus 100 gold is because I was willing to spend, the gold on all of this stuff, and, also willing to spend my time just taking the shots, one by one, collecting 4 gold at a time, bouncing straight into the fire. Yeah, baby. Tender Cactus is probably just pretty good. I should probably just take it. It does mean that my shots don't actually deal damage, which is honestly I'm fine with. Because I'm still dealing direct damage, which is still applying the debuffs, and I don't actually care about... Yeah, you know what? It does just work. Also, if I hit any of the many insane scalers that I could get at this stage, yeah, it would be pretty good. With that though, I would actually need a real number of elites. I'm a bit worried that may not happen. Speaking of a bit worried, I would love to have a more interesting Area 3 map. That'd be pretty awesome. I guess Triple Store is kind of cool actually. Fine. I digress. Triple Store is pretty awesome after all. Can I heal? I can't heal. Well, I can, but Super Roots is only so good. Maybe I should have thought about that more when I was doing my targeting, eh? Yeah, I kind of really want to do Triple Store, which means not doing a random upgrade on a Shuffle Orb that does not need upgrading. But also means not going to the elites, which is unfortunate. The thing is though, if you go to enough stores, you just find the rare relics anyway. So hopefully we get some rare relics, eh? Unfortunately that does require going to more than a few stores that I have available to me, but maybe I can get at least one, right? That would be neat at least. I don't have an Enhance, do I? Enhance does make greed a whole lot simpler. That's 44 gold. You know what, I was a bit worried about the measurable 3 stores that I'm going to, because 3 stores is a lot of gold. But maybe, just maybe, we will be good. Question is, do I want to go to the question mark or not? Kind of thought I wanted to. It might be wiser. Yes. Good dodge, it was pretty guaranteed, but still a good dodge. It is going to be nice having 3 removals for my deck though, because I'm going to be honest, I have 3 orbs I want removed. Well, let's try going to the question mark. I will still aim for gold, but we went in the right one, which means we go to the right path. Now, if you'll be so kind as to take me... Yep, do that again, please. You are such a troll. I do not hate going to the elites here. I really don't. It's just very unfortunate. I would have preferred not to. I would prefer to go to Triple Store. Triple Store is a very rare delicacy, and you should definitely enjoy it while you can. Sometimes the Triple Store that appears in front of you is not actually a Triple Store. I'm still a bit wild that we misnavigated there, but I guess we did, eh? I guess we did. Sometimes there's just not too much you can do. Guaranteed crits is pretty cool. Now I just need to do something with the crits. I've got all the PS I need, but I don't need PS. So if something could happen with my crits sometime soon, I'm not asking for anything much. Just like when you hit a crit, give a debuff to targeted enemy. You know, not asking for much. But if you could be so kind as to just grant it to me, that would be pretty awesome. I would appreciate that. Almost as much as I would have appreciated being able to go to 3 stores. The other good news about just picking up safety regulations is it does just mean that we have immunity to read bombs. They just don't deal damage to us pretty much. That's cool. Always nice. That event is not always nice. It's never nice, in fact. Very simply. Brief Filibuster. It does get in the way of my, I guess, other stuff already gets in the way of my amazing debuff focused game plan, which definitely worked out. Look, it doesn't look bad at this stage. It's just I can't really call it a debuff focused game plan. To do that, I'd actually have to have a good build for debuffs, and I kind of don't. I kind of just have a good build instead of a debuff build, which is a shame. But that's why I'm aiming for a debuff build, right? Because setting up for a debuff build is just not the easiest. It really is not. What do we got here? Some extra gold for me? Why not? Gardener's Gloves is useless. Put on Stake. Like, Gardener's Gloves should have damage from relics as well. Like, maybe you don't want it to interact with Wonder Scotch Roth, sure, but I think it can definitely interact with Anvil. I think that is perfectly fine. Like, taking less damage from an Anvil because of gloves kind of checks out, doesn't it? Don't want anything else here, just want to stack up as much gold as possible for no reason, because there's one question mark here that gives me slightly more gold. What is it, 10 gold? Should I care about 10 gold? 60 gold technically, right? I mean, I'm just gonna stack up. I don't care. The gold means nothing to me, but this chest also means nothing to me. I don't have enhanced, so can't guarantee that, so I missed. Wow. I had a lot of elites for this seed. But a lot of fights as well. Like a lot of fights. I also didn't get as many removals as I would have liked. Big shame. Oh well. I wanted to do a debuff run, and honestly this was a pretty good debuff run. Debuff stuff is just pretty good for this run currently. It's just, yeah. The shuffle stuff and damage stuff matters infinitely more. So much more. And if I actually had the capabilities to make my crits matter, which I haven't seen this run to be clear, it's not like I've turned down the good crit stuff for debuff stuff, because I don't believe I have. I've even picked up like all grown stuff, which just isn't handy anymore. Still a great relic, it's just not handy for this run. But if I had like even just a Morley Flower or a Fleece or a short stack, I would be in a pretty exceptional spot. That shot was horrendous. I'm actually very impressed by that shot. Let's try that again, shall we? Yep. That's more like what I thought. Oh, we have Pocket Sand doing stuff as well. Nice to see. A lot of blind. I really do love the debuff inheriting that these bosses have. Because of course, when any of the squares die, it's very hard to show you when I just take a good shot and it kills everyone thanks to the powers of Dupe Station plus a really, really good orb just being shot. But whenever any squares dies, adjacent squares inherit half of their buffs and debuffs, which is really nice for some debuff builds, and can definitely matter because they do stack with circle. But usually you don't have to worry about it too much. Especially if you're playing like this class and you have access to Illusion, right? Because as soon as there's only one enemy on the board, it's much easier to get good dodges from them. Especially with some builds, right? You know, like if you've got an evasive maneuver maxed and you're critting every hit with it, your illusion is basically capped every single shot, which means an enemy that's hitting very hard every other shot is very easy for you to deal with if you're able to constantly shoot evasive maneuver orbs, which is a good orb. Speaking of a good orb, Reorbanizer. So the nice thing about Reorbanizer, I love the inflated upgrades because of Tender Cactus, of course. Speaking of the Reorbanizer, like honestly, as I've said before, this is mostly a Spinventer thing, but picking up an early Reorbanizer is generally just fine. It's a 2-5 to start off with. The upgrades on it are 1-2 each upgrade, and it has really, really good potential high roll. A lot of the time, I think you can just get away with just adding a Reorbanizer to your deck, and it'll just be decent. Now, of course, I don't really do that all that often, but when I do pick up the Reorbanizer, I happen to have Duplication Potion. And Duplication Potion plus Reorganizer is basically the strongest thing you can do in the game. Obviously, circumstances apply, right? There are some very, very strong things you can do in the game. But it's definitely in like the top bracket. If you can combine it with the other stuff in the top bracket as well, which is like um, Refreshing Punch, League's Respilator, right? Then it is very easy to just be completely unstoppable. Jukepot is definitely limited. If you don't have multi-ball and you don't actually have access to a lot of crits or refreshes, a lot of the time it doesn't actually matter all that much. But I mean, the second you hit that kind of combo, the number one thing you're looking for is finding more of those crits or refreshes because it matters a whole lot. Yeah, this was a really awesome seed. We just had so many more fights than I would have liked. That area one was awesome though. Super stacked, and that's just how I like it. Because we got a lot of cool relics. Unfortunately, the synergy between them never really ended up working out all that much. Like I had some crit stuff, and that was great. I really do appreciate having all of this like crit nonsense just flying around. It's just there are 5 relics, I think, which are like crit converters, where the second you have a lot of crits and you hit one of them, you're in an insane spot. I think Shuffle Pot is both a crit converter and a crit adder. No, no, it's just a crit adder, sorry. Doesn't count as a converter. Those 5 relics are. Was that a good estimate, I wonder? Criticris, Fleece, Short Stack, crits will also apply debuffs, and did I say Moonflower already? Did I start with Moonflower? Probably I did, right? Is that all of them? I don't think Augur really counts because Augur still relies on one of the. No, Augur also counts. I don't think I said Moonflower initially. Oh my god, let's just go through them again. Moonflower, Short Stack, Criticris, uh, the crits also apply debuffs, and then Augur would be the 5th one. Yeah, so it actually was 5. Might be going crazy and missing one, that is very likely. Um, but yeah, as soon as you can find any one of those converters, you are just in a much better spot. And we did have Augur here. It was great. It was really good in area 2. Then I picked up a Tender Cactus, because Tender Cactus is still a very good passive, despite the fact that I had an excellent PS setup. Not just an excellent PS setup, honestly. This is the best PS setup you can have, pretty much. Although, honestly, if you've got good critting capabilities, just cut the boss passive out of this build. You want good PS capabilities, just remove your boss passive. The whole point of that boss passive is meant to add PS, but Olga kind of does it better, especially when you actually have access to crits, which we very much had here. Yeah, but especially if you've got like Mask of Joy, even just those Refresher Cores or the Molly Flower or the Flaunty Gauntlets, for example, as well, just becomes a whole lot better. Just being able to go to a store and find a Mask of Joy in the store, I really do appreciate that on this class because I feel like I actually find Mask of Joy in a store for round rule quite a bit. Happens more often than not. In terms of the way how I find a Mask of Joy. Really cool to get. Wait, it might be a store only relic on this class. That might be the reason why. You know what? That would make a lot of sense. Um, it was really funny though. We went to a store and we turned down the apple a day when we were on like 13 health or something. I think it was 19 health actually. Just because like Orbit Story for the extra greed for the build that I actually wanted to run was great. Mask of Joy was just going to work out simply, and it did just work out. It could have worked better, but it did work out pretty well. Especially if I got status symbol. That was another thing I was thinking of. If I got status symbol, Mask of Joy is just ridiculous, absolutely insane. So many great ways you can make that combo. I wanted the Orbit Story for the extra greed, and then Super Boots plus Unicorn Horn is just a great combo when you've got Navigation Inflation. I really would implore you to consider it a lot. It's quite good. Being able to just collect 100 gold there was awesome because that 100 gold allowed me to go to triple store in area 3. Unfortunately, the map didn't allow me to go to triple store in area 3, but semantics, right? Yeah, we had some very cool. Honestly, there were a lot of boss passes we could have hit. Like status symbol, obviously, any of the module boss relics as always is good. Um, and then Link Thrust Later was the other big one. More than a few. Unfortunately, I didn't get the Hype Turtle. I was really hoping for an Hype Turtle early this run. Because, I mean, you look at that Area 1 map and you just hope for the best, right? An early Hype Turtle would work wonders. It would be absolutely amazing. As well as just improving boss passive options, just so you can see more, cull more of the bad options from the pool, and guarantee that you get good options. But yeah, Go for the Icicle is generally just a nice orb on this class. It's just solid. Icicle, definitely not ideal, but Go for the Icicle, just applying those debuffs, having a few extra of those synergy points, and generally just being a solid orb, yeah, like that just works out. Being able to apply your debuffs to all enemies because it's hitting all enemies is really nice, and maybe you've got that Branch of Ember or that debuff Distractor to just give you that little bit of an edge.